Hey y'all, today is Monday the 7th, I believe. Wow, it's already the 7th of May. And so, happy Monday to you all. It's a new week, new day. Here in my city, it's super bright and super sunny, clear skies. It almost, it does kind of feel like, I don't know. I guess I would say that the weather isn't exactly reflecting how I'm feeling today and how I feel like everyone's feeling today, which is normal. The weather is not always gonna reflect how we feel, but it's just interesting to me, I guess, to see just how clear the sky is today and just how calm it feels because I feel like this week is gonna be a really interesting one. So let's just jump into the cards so you guys can kind of see what I mean. So, as usual, we'll go over the blessings and challenges of the day, and then we'll go over how we can work with both of those, or, essentially the conclusion of the message today. So, let's start with the blessings, or the positive side. So, um, like I normally do, I draw one card, and I'll draw at least one clarity card for each position. Most of the time, if there's more than one clarity card, it's because the cards decided, or not even the cards decided, but more cards were like, yeah, these need to be here, so that's really the case. So today, and not just that, but I noticed like where the cards end up falling the most, I guess is where kind of the focus is. I don't know if you've noticed, like the past couple of days, the focus has been on the conclusion. So it's been really focused on you actually doing something to make these energies work for you. Today, I have more of the focus on the blessing side, which is really interesting when we get to just all of the cards, when you just see the whole message. So, the first card is the World. This was the card I pulled for blessings. For clarity cards, it was like this on top. It was these three cards that they fell out first, and I shuffled again, and they fell out again. So I assumed they needed to be here. So we've got the World, backed and supported by the Two of Wands, King of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So this speaks of fulfillment on all levels. This is like integration and like accomplishment and just like having the entire world, and not even necessarily in oh, I'm the dictator or like conqueror of this world, but it's like you take control of your entire world. Like we all have our own, we're all our own little universe. And so I feel like with this card, you're really maybe even starting to realize that, or starting to come into a full, like, not even full understanding, but more of an understanding of, fulfillment in your life. I mean, let's just even get to what these other cards, like Two of Wands, always for me speaks of like originality, of deciding, maybe I'm not gonna go with the conventional, the stable way of going with things. And not just that, but going with the new, going with the beyond, the unknown, the expansive. Like I'm gonna go on my own road with my own truth. Like Ace of Swords is like not just your own truth, but it's mental fortitude. It's like the way this, like, it shines. It's like when imagine if you like were walking around, and anytime you were like speaking the truth, you had to pull out this like sword that shined, because that was like you pulling out your truth. Like what I especially like is the mountains. I feel like these mountains here and the mountains in the back, that's what I started noticing. It's just like, yeah, just wanting to experience not even more in the sense of feeling like you're lacking, but experiencing the unknown, going farther than the boundary. And so with this King of Cups as well, like just all three of these together, these are, it's water with the cups, air with the swords and fire with the wands. Like this, I feel like these are all like for this to come up under the world, which for me the world can be like an earthy card. This, like I said, it feels like an all around fulfillment. Like there's potential for, accomplishment of like full, just like, I don't want to say happiness because that's just not the word. That's not the word here. It's like moving forward with a sense of like mental security and emotional faith and consistency. Also with a little bit of a fire and originality, enough for you to be able to like live your truth and be able to experience the world. Yeah, just I'm gonna have to move on because it's already 6 minutes in. And those cards, like, when those cards came out, I was just like, wow, all right. Bet, for real. Okay. Challenge card. We have Four of Cups backed and supported by the Empress. So for me, I believe we may have pulled this yesterday. I know we pulled the Empress yesterday, and I think the Four of Cups came out yesterday as well in a certain position. So again, a lot of this, a lot of the energies that we've been feeling over the weekend are just really continuing up through this week. What I mentioned about, there being massive change. Like, y'all, I wish I could even tell you, like, these next couple weeks, and it's not even meant to be fearful, but it's just these next couple weeks, it's going to be real. Just like, I feel like it's important to ground yourself. And maybe even that's why the Empress maybe even is here. Like, the Empress is usually like a abundance card, or like a feel good, like a sensual card. But here in this position, I kind of am feeling like that's part of the message, maybe, is like needing to really ground, get in touch with nature, get in touch with the earth, to help you, secure yourself through through a lot of this change going on. And not just that, but through, just a lot of stuff coming in. This Four of Cups usually makes me think of like when you're just like self-absorbed, like you have like these cups and the world's got this cup handing out for you, and you're just kind of like, but do I want to take that cup? I don't know, like, and I don't even mean it in like a patting way, but also in a like, I don't know, let me really think about this. Let me really consider how I feel about this. So maybe this is really, a message of, with all of this, fulfillment coming in, there's a lot just like coming in. While all of this is going on, all these changes, or, not just changes, but, I guess what you can call, like, ascension, or, as your mind just starts to become more and more aware. I feel like maybe this is, just a sign to spend some time grounding yourself, because you can get yourself lost in the clouds real easy in this kind of energy. And, take some time to sit with, the things that happen today, the things that you may feel today, things that may come up today for you. So, conclusion, y'all. I believe it was the King of Swords first. I believe it was the King of Swords. Backed and supported by Judgment. Judgment is the very first card. When I was even just shuffling the deck, just getting ready to pull the cards, it flew out. So, I'm personally not surprised that this card came out. And also, when I'm thinking of how the energy is feeling for everyone, like, I'm for real, y'all. And not judgment as in, like, whenever I think of judgment, I think of the stuff that I was taught when I was like a Christian, where they, believed that there was, like, the 144,000, or I believe That's also something mentioned in a few different faiths of like the 144,000 that are supposed to be like the ones that get to go to heaven, when God comes, and the rapture happens or some crap like that. And that's what that's kind of like the feeling when I first looked at this card, but really it's like waking people up from the dead. And it's not from like even necessarily the literal dead, but it's like shaking people up out of the mental slumber that people have been in, where people are starting to fly just hit my nose. People are starting to think for themselves in ways that is uncomfortable. I'm sorry, y'all. There's this fly. Get away! It's trying to eat me. Oh, hold on. Alright, I am so sorry, y'all. I couldn't tell if that was a bee or a fly, so your girl was a little freaked out. Okay, back to the cards. So, yeah, people are starting to really think for themselves in ways that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And I'm feeling that even just in my own personal life, and not even just with other people. Like, the past couple of days, I've been having, like, complete changes of opinions on things where I felt so strongly maybe even a year ago. Where I felt so sure. And now I'm in a completely different mindset to where I'm like, wow, like where I'm like, I was not able to see this before. I was not like, and to be honest, maybe that also has to do with a bit of the King of Cups card. And I only say that because I feel like it really, for me personally, it had to do with really spending time with my, not just my emotions, but spending time with the pains that I feel and knowing that a lot of these pains that I feel are not mine. As in, like, pains that I went through personally in this lifetime. But maybe I'll talk about that in a whole other video on how I feel like that ties to this message. But yeah, like this, for a conclusion, is, yeah, people are being shaken out of their mental slumbers. They're being shaken out of hibernation in a way. And it's not even a hibernation that I would say was natural. And I only say that because I feel it more as if people are waking up to the real, not just the real truth, but people are waking up to, more of the truth. Like this King of Swords is, someone that's analytical, someone that's able, logical, but not too logical to where they're like, well, where they're like throwing their opinion around because they feel like their opinion is the only opinion. The King of Swords is not a man that thinks he's the only one that's right. He's just a person that knows his truth and he stands by it. You know what I mean? That's his thing. And he's not, a judge. He's not here to be like, well, my truth is the truth. It's, well, this is my truth and it's the truth for me, But yeah. With this judgment though, y'all, not even just with that, the King of Swords, y'all, we had the Ace of Swords. Like, I guess I'll just end it with, whatever truth you feel like you come into, like, move in that truth. Like, don't be scared to move in that truth. And I say that as someone that definitely has some truths that make people uncomfortable or that people completely don't agree with or would have, people calling me crazy or all kinds of things. And I definitely, I'm a Gemini. I definitely have those feelings of, wanting to be right in the sense of, wanting to be the truth and wanting what I say to be taken as the truth. And what I'm realizing is, I'm going to have to let that go. Not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's something that I feel like everyone is going to have to start accepting, is that in order to live your best life, and in order to live your truth the way that you want to, you have to not be afraid to. And that's easier said than done in a lot of ways. But I mean this. Like, I mean this in such a genuine, wholehearted, like, if I could leave you with anything today, is like, like, really truly do you. Like, in every way. Like, you do not have to worry about others in that way. Or feel like you will lose friends and never feel, loved or supported or whatever. That's bogus. That's crap. I promise you. No matter how weird you think you are, there are tons of people out there just like you. And even if there aren't, or I don't want to say even if there aren't, but like even if you feel like you're not in connection with them, like just go within, go within today. That 4 Cups card, go within today. Spend some time going within and dig out that truth if it hasn't been, coming up to the surface already for you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try and not have this one as long as the others, even though it's already at 16 minutes. But thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have watched this and you have been watching, or even if this is your first time watching or whatever, thank you for just letting me, take some of your time to give my message. And yeah, just as always, take every day easy. Take every day, don't take life too seriously. But yeah, today just be aware of, how your truth is going to create not judgment in the sense of like now people are going to judge you, or maybe people will, but in the sense of you almost like you've been saying you've been wanting this, right? Now it's coming, You wanted to be able to, like, let's just take me for instance. I've been wanting to meet other people, like-minded like me, or not just that, but I've wanted to really go out there and step out in my truth, in a big way. And not just in a big way, I just wanted to put myself out there. That's why I started doing YouTube. And so for me, what I'm starting to realize, I'm not starting to realize, but for, I guess, a piece of my judgment is that, yeah, I start to lose friends. I start to lose people that don't want to follow me anymore because now, I'm not only just posting pictures of my kids. Now I'm talking about, like, some real deal stuff. I'm talking about, energy. I'm talking about dimensions. I'm talking about, like, all kinds of things that people aren't, ready for, or they don't want to hear, whatever the case is. So, yeah, I can't say it enough. Like, not even just me, but the cards are telling me that I can't stress it enough that the truth that you feel is it's your real truth, and you have to move in your truth. You can't live a fake life anymore. You can't wear the mask anymore. That's what I feel. All of the little masks we've been wearing to please people, to do the whole, play the whole social game with everyone. You don't have to do that. And not only do you not have to, but things will start happening, where it's going to have to force you to see that maybe you don't fit in where you are anymore. Maybe the job you don't, the job you work at isn't, you don't actually have your heart in it. And so maybe you end up losing that job. Maybe you end up quitting out of nowhere because now you feel your truth and you're like, yeah, this isn't my thing. And really that's just I just want to give, a very practical example. But anyway, I said I wasn't going to make this super long, y'all. And it's already 19 minutes. So I'm going to let y'all go. Have a great Monday. I'll be back again tomorrow with the energies of the day. And until then, take care.